you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is Unleash. Are you listening? Can you hear me?
With your host, Brandon Tierney. In 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? What's happening? BT Unleashed, No Rules Friday, J-Rod. What's going on? Hopefully everybody is well. How could you not be? Hopefully everybody is recovered from a long, wild Wednesday night. And here we are. We got to wait one more day. And, we might have to wait another day after that or two if the Knicks don't win on Saturday. But obviously a lot of NBA final stuff. I've got some baseball stuff for you as well. J-Rod, what's cooking, buddy? How are you?
What's up? What's up? Happy Friday, y'all.
Yes.
Going into an exciting weekend. Very curious as to what's going to happen tomorrow night. I mean, listen, you're thinking they're going to come out. You're thinking they're going to close it out. But listen, as BT will get into today,
yes,
anything could happen.
Yes, and I have a sense as to what is going to happen, which we will get into in a moment. Today's show brought to you by my friends at Sullivan Papain. You can find Sullivan online at triallaw1.com. That's triallaw1.com. Remember the name Sullivan Papain, and by Premio Sausage. Get a little sausage the way sausage should be. Find them at premiofoods.com or in your local grocery store. As I said, listen, I don't know why it doesn't really make any sense. I say No Rules Friday. We have no rules anyway, but it is a day to branch out. We've done so much NBA content, obviously. Gotten to some of the Volpe stuff yesterday, which, by the way, Jay, did you see that one of the shorts, one of the IG shorts has 400,000 views already on Volpe?
There we go. We're
We got to start. Yeah, true. We got to start mixing up the topics. But when I say it's a No Rules Friday, it is. And you guys can throw anything at me, whether it's about the NBA, whether it's about, personal stuff, industry, whatever it might be. So have a little fun with that. Movies, music, and obviously we will stay with the theme of what is obviously very hot. Now, I was thinking about this, and to me, there's a lot of issues with the NBA, and I think if you waste a lot of time complaining about it, it just strips away from the joy. I'm not even talking about, let me take a step back. I'm not even talking about the finals or, Knicks, Spurs, just the entity that is the NBA. And, when I was getting ready for the show, I was jotting a couple of things down, things that I know that bother me, that I certainly know bother you. Not as physical, right? Everybody's, if you're old enough, waxing, poetic about, the blunt force trauma of the 1990s and the 80s, especially if you're a Knicks fan, Mason, Oak, and all that stuff. But many other guys like Xavier McDaniel, who was a Knick for a year, a lot of bad, mean dudes back then. And I think we appreciated that. Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, those kind of dudes, right? So that's been a point of contention for a while. That's not nearly as physical as it used to be. Number one, there's no defense, and again, I'm not talking about the finals. I'm talking about a Wednesday night game between the Utah Jazz and Sacramento, or a Thursday night game in February between the Brooklyn Nets and, say, the Hornets. You know what I mean? So that is a real issue that the NBA, hasn't really found a way to address, but I get it. I understand those concerns. Valid. Really, largely what the NBA has become is a three-point contest. I mean, even in the NBA Finals, you got the Spurs up by, 29 points, and they're just recklessly jacking away 23. That sounded weird. You know what I mean? Jacking up shots from wherever with no real discrimination. I mean, 28 feet, 27 feet, just letting loose bombs as the Knicks are trying to mount this comeback. It's ridiculous. You can only imagine if you parachute into one of these otherwise innocuous and meaningless and mundane regular season games between the Rockets and whomever when they're putting up 70 combined threes. That's turned a lot. I think you're gonna like the greater point, but I have to set this up, right? And that is a point of contention for many of you. An aversion to defense, or it's a three-point contest. No rivalries. If you really think about what helped elevate the NBA from a dying product that was riddled with drugs and apathy, the NBA was dead. Now, I'm not saying that it wouldn't have found a way to regenerate at some point, but the regeneration clearly came in the form of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. You just couldn't have two more different dudes. One white guy from the farm who wants to jack up jump shots, but stuff his nails. The other dude, inner city, black guy, incredibly, flashy, like we've never seen this before, and efficient, by the way, but just two collegiate superstars. They play in the NCAA championship, and that obviously set the league up for the MJs and everybody after that, right? Everybody's buddies at this point. Everybody's buddies. Everybody's popping in on the IGs, a little like, a little comment, a little subtweet, a little subquote, whatever it might be. And the dissipation, or really the way rivalries have dissolved, they just don't really exist. That has really hurt the league. Maintenance days, going back to Popovich with the Spurs. So I just gave you I gave you 6 things. Not as physical, not a lot of defense, 3-point contest, no rivalries, everybody's buddies, maintenance days, right? Now we get to the only thing that really truly worries me about tomorrow night. And by extension, if there is any other games, game 6 or 7, from a Knicks point of view, but it's also more of a macro view of the NBA, all right? So WEMBY, and we could sit here and we can cry and we can contest and we can get, still shots where, is OG's finger touching De'Aaron Fox's arm? I mean, we could play this game all night and day. It's exhausting, all right? It's exhausting, right? Did he step out of bounds? Did he not? Did WEMBY? He did. He did not. Did WEMBY try to? I don't know what WEMBY was doing. This came out. I didn't even see this until yesterday after the show when WEMBY came out and he showed on, was it a pick and roll? I think it was a pick and roll. Either way. And it looked like it looked like he was trying to take out OG's knee. Now, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but when you're stomping in a violent, reckless manner, I don't really know what else to think that you were doing, but I'm going to give you the benefit, even though he's a dirty-ish player, that's so dirty, I can't think that he was actually trying to do that. Didn't look good, though, right? So the NBA, all the things that are wrong with the NBA, I think we could get past a lot of those because I think if you're a younger fan, like my guy J-Rod, you don't have this database of hard fouls and, half-court offense, which, by the way, gets a little boring after a while. The conventional, give it to the big man in the post, drop step, like you learn in basketball camp when you're a kid, drop step, roll to the rim, pump it. Like, those days are over. Jokic is banging threes, Cat's banging threes. We all know that, right? So somebody like J-Rod, who's younger, he knows what he knows, and he loves what he loves. And I'm not here to change anybody's enjoyment, but I do have to incorporate this thing. And this is the one thing that bothers me the most about the NBA because it is most counter to what made the NBA phenomenal. You think about Bird, who comes in as a rookie, and he's getting blasted. Now he's destroying people. Larry Bird is flat out killing people, taking their souls. Looking at the bench to opposing coaches. You're going to have this white dude cover me? What? Like, that's what, I mean, Bird was maybe the best trash talker of all time, right? So Bird would get absolutely pummeled. He'd get up, he'd dust himself off, he'd bang in 2 free throws, and then he would stick somebody at the other end when nobody's looking. Same with Magic, same with Ewing when he came. Matter of fact, I remember this. Quick aside, I was at Patrick Ewing's first preseason game. My dad got tickets, right? And I couldn't wait to watch him play. And they're playing the Pacers. Is before, like a year or two before Rick Smith, who was still at Marist. Anyway, Patrick gets into, I don't even really know if there were punches thrown. I think there was an attempt. This guy by the name of Steve Stepanovich, big 7-foot white guy, decent player, whatever. And they're rolling around, and Patrick hyperextended his arm. Again, I don't know if he was throwing a punch, but he was hurt. So if you look back, it's on YouTube, Patrick Ewing's first ever bucket as an NBA player in a real game was against the Sixers. And Darrell Walker, one of the old guards, bat number 4, good defender, couldn't shoot a lick, shoots the jump shot. What a surprise. He misses it. And Pat comes flying in over Moses and dunks it. And as you can see, his entire right hand is wrapped because of the fight that he got into with Stepanovich. And that's the point. Like, and I'm not trying to harken back to those days, but you'll see the greater point in a moment. And the tolls and the checkpoints that you had to pay en route to NBA immortality was very much defined. It was very clear. And I said this yesterday, and this post is taken off. I mean, this one might hit 1 million, right? Where Michael Jordan would get the shit kicked out of him as he rolled through the paint. You got Lane Beer, you got Mahorn, you got Sally. I mean, Dumars didn't really, even Isaiah, that was the bad boys. I mean, they were tough as nails. And that's where Michael Jordan, the Jordan rules, we all know about the Jordan rules, right? Rodman delivering these shots. So what did Michael do? Instead of complaining, instead of whining, Michael started lifting weights for the first time, got pretty jacked, and started saying, hey, if I got to throw down, I'm going to have to throw down. And the NBA didn't protect Michael. This is the point. The NBA didn't protect Michael Jordan. There was a slow evolution to superstardom, all right? And they didn't protect Tim Duncan. They definitely didn't protect Dirk Nowitzki. And they didn't even protect LeBron James. And I've got a lot of issues with LeBron. I shouldn't say a lot. I just don't think he's the GOAT, and some other things I'm not going to get into now, whatever. But jumping around, all that stuff. And no, I don't want him on the Knicks if they don't win the series. I stand by that. Just to go wherever you're going to go. We don't need you. But even LeBron early on, playing against these veteran-laden teams, was getting knocked around. And what would LeBron do? To his credit, he would pick his ass up, dust his ass off, go to the stripe, maybe not hit 2 like Bird, but hit a lot. And he would keep grinding, and he got bigger, and he got stronger, and he got tougher, and he became more resolute. And eventually, it was punctuated with many championships. Now, he had to go and join super teams to get those championships, but we're not going to quibble over that right now. The point is, what's happening right now at the NBA, it is so apparent, and it is such a turnoff. It is called Operation Protect Wemby. That's where we're at. Yeah, I mean, obviously, guys, from a basketball point of view, all right. I mean, the Knicks going to come out again and, fall behind by 13, 14 points? Are they going to give up 40 points in the first quarter again? Are they going to be playing uphill the rest of the night? I don't know. And we'll see. I mean, the answer is going to, reveal itself Saturday night. See, it's funny because we're talking about the NBA Finals, but what I'm talking about right now is really a much bigger issue and my ultimate biggest problem with the NBA. The elevation to superstardom in terms of how the league protects you and how the league treats you is just not congruent, and it's not equitable with the way that it once was. And I don't know why. I understand the rules change. Got it. I understand that there's more of a European influence, which has actually made the game a lot better because, in Europe, they practice 5 times a week. And they play 1 or 2 games. Here, it's the exact opposite. So you want to know why our American fundamentals aren't as good as the Euros? Well, while our incredibly skilled young basketball players are playing 5 games on a Saturday at some AAU complex and maybe practicing once a week, that's the difference, right? So the European influence and the rules that have evolved over the years, all those things, right? This is of European influence as well, but the number 5 man getting further and further and further away from the rim, which opens up some spacing for guys to get to the rim and some cuts and some passing if you're on point as a team. Aesthetically, those are all really good things. And as much as, whether it's the everybody's buddies or the lack of defense on a night-to-night basis or the maintenance days or the things that I do complain about, but I've moved past it because nobody wants to hear Unk complaining all day, on the lawn. Get off the grass. I just cut it. Get off the grass. We just put the seeds down. Get off the grass. We just laid the sod. We got to let it grow. I know that nobody wants to hear that, but I don't care if you're 9 or if you're 90. Everybody needs to understand this particular message because it's manifesting itself in real time. What they don't call about Wemby the other night, not game 4, but obviously game 3, they had a chance to tack on that other. And now I know he got one last game, but that's not the point. They didn't know he was going to get one when he mushed Brunson in the head. That's not a flagrant one. No, it was. And if you would have done your job and had some balls instead of placating this guy, and basically trying to hold his hand to a championship at the ripe old age of 22, whatever he is, right? You would have given him the extra point, which would have been 3, which means he would have played differently. And if that would have happened the other night, he would have had 4 and he'd be sitting. Now, I want to beat the Spurs with Wemby out there. I'm not looking for the shortcut. But what I am looking for is a rule book that is universally applied. And somebody's got to say it. And nobody has said it. So I'll be the person that says it because I have no problem being that person, right? Not only are they protecting and quick and hastening his road to eventual multi-time champion, all-time transcendent superstar. He's going to get there. He's phenomenal. We all know that. But I think the main impetus behind doing that is because he's not American. I actually believe that. Because the NBA is not alone here. The globalization of sport and the streams and the TV contracts and the NFL, we did a bunch of shows on that, starting to get in Australia with 2 NFC West divisional foes. So they are just taking a page from the other sports and a blueprint from soccer and all the other, and no disrespect to soccer at all. World Cup's going to be great. I'll be into it a little bit. But they are doing something that is so unfair to all of the other greats of the game. And they are just basically doing whatever it takes to make sure that Wemby is in the right position to get that crown early, be a champion probably before he is ready, and certainly before he deserves it. That's where I'm at. J-Rod, that's where I'm at with that stuff, man.
Hey, you know what? I think it's an interesting point. I mean, I'm sure some of our callers will get into it with you. My thought is it's similar. I don't know if it's necessarily just the European in my thought, but it certainly is tied behind marketing your next big star, because obviously LeBron James already has fallen out of that position. He's not the big star. He's not the face of the NBA as he once was. Obviously, you can still use him for clicks on some things, but it doesn't work anymore. And so now with this, they're trying to propel Wemby to status way too quickly, like you're saying. And like you're saying as well, obviously, he's a great player and his time will come. It could be next season. It could be 2 seasons where this guy goes on a playoff run and he really secures it fairly. That's what I want to see. I want to see fairly, no ref interference, none of that. And there really wasn't much, official interference up until the NBA Finals. I believe most of those other series were called pretty cleanly, called pretty fairly, and not in his favor necessarily. Maybe Game 7 against the Thunder, but that's another story. But I just think, yes, with this guy, I think we have all jumped the gun way too quickly, myself included, in calling him the best player in the NBA before he's really had to deal with true struggles, true adversity, like every other NBA player has had to. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not being the best player in the NBA in your 3rd season. Exactly. No one is, and with this guy, by his 5th or 6th season, he will be the best player in the NBA. But we don't need to jump the gun.
Yep. And Jay, it's really the only sport. Well, it's the only sport where you can do it to this extent, where you can almost kind of help navigate the path of somebody. You could try to do it in other sports, but if your quarterback doesn't have time to throw, you could protect him, throw the late hit flag, maybe be a little bit overzealous there. But if he has no time to throw, you can't manipulate that as a league. And you can have, not that you would even think about doing this in baseball, but like a young Mike Trout. Now we have the system anyway, tapping the helmet. So we got the ABS, but a Judge or an Ohtani, it's very hard to do that in baseball. Basketball's early. Oh, you know what? Basketball's easy. You know what? And Knicks are up 2-1. Let's make sure we get Cat on the bench a little bit early tonight. Now they came back, they won, so they stuck it up their ass. But that was the most improbable comeback, because literally it was the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history at 29 points. So you can't absolutely determine the end result, but you could stack things up in a manner that puts yourself in a best position to get the result that you want. And I believe with him, they're doing that. And to me, the premature elevation to superstardom it's not just unique to Wemby, though I think it's playing out in real time, but it's very obvious here. And it's not just unique to the NBA. It's symptomatic of the world. There's always You got 9 and 10-year-olds, some of whom my son plays with and against, and 11-year-old. And I get it. And like some of these kids are amazing. Like they truly are. I've seen them do great things as great young ball players. But, I'm not a big believer of, young kids being propelled to a level that could cloud their judgment in life. I mean, there's got to be a matriculation because the brain is not caught up to the physical prowess at that point. I saw something the other day with basketball. So let's see. My son's class of 33. I think it was like class of 20. No joke, Jay. 2038. Like the highest rated first grade basketball players in the country.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I swear to God. I'm not kidding.
I'll smoke that kid. No,
yeah. No, and some of these dudes are bad, man. Their handles are, again, I'm not hating on the kids. Like they are.
They can dribble at 6.
Yeah. I mean, 7-year-olds, the class of 2038, the highest rated first. I mean, it's really crazy. And I get it that like there's a point where that coronation's going to come, and there's going to be with certain people like Jordan, etc. There's certain things and there's certain people that you just can't stifle what seems to be destiny. Even LeBron, MJ, Tiger Woods. Now, things can happen in their lives that maybe derail them later in their career, but some people truly are just different and sent here with a different impact and a different skill set and a different aptitude. And Wemby seems to be one of them for sure. So I'm fine with that, but you got to let him earn it. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
I wanted to pop this up. Hold on. The next. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, this is one that I saw before. The NBA's desperate. LeBron's finished. Nobody else can carry the torch. Ant-Man was supposed to be, but doesn't want to be that guy. So they're scrambling. Yeah. I mean, more than any other sport. Appreciate that, PG. Thank you very much. Star players have always been treated differently for as long as I have watched the NBA, and I'm older than you, BT. Yes and no. You're older, so you should know this better than me. Go back to young Bird. Go because you saw them. Go back to young Magic. Certainly go back to young MJ. And to me, Michael's the best example because it's not like grainy footage or hey, who was Bill Russell playing against, or what was the league like when Wilt was playing? I mean, there's a lot of guesses when there's no documentation of Wilt scored 100 points, let alone being able to determine how good the league was at that point. But really, Michael Jordan was pushed to a physical limit that the league never once tried to suppress. Not once. And I'm surprised that last chat that I just read comes from somebody who's older than me, who's seen more than me. I just have to respectfully disagree. I know it's your opinion. I just don't see it that way at all. I don't believe that that's an accurate depiction of history. I really don't. Yeah. I mean,
but it is different because Jordan was in literally the most latter years of his career, other than the Wizards seasons. So listen, because I saw this point and I agreed with it in the sense that it does show a bit of a favoring of officiating from the league, but what it doesn't show is a crowning of a young player before their time. So that's why
what bothers me. I can't stand it. Yep. And
but obviously, I think MJ did get away with a little Jaylen Brown move right there.
Well, he did. You know what would have been interesting if they were able to review that.
At the time.
I don't know. Listen,
Hornacek hits him with the.
Imagine that. Yep. Listen, to me, that was fairly benign. I mean, why am I forgetting the defender's name? I was a good defender too.
I just watched it 2 days ago.
Oh man, he was a good player. Jeez.
It starts with a
Was it Russell? Was it Russell?
Craig Elo.
No, it wasn't Craig Elo. No, that's a different shot.
Oh, that's the Cavaliers.
That's the Craig Elo shot was in Cleveland. That's when MJ jumped up.
Byron Russell. Yep.
It was Russell. Yeah.
Byron Russell.
There you go. No, that Elo video is insane. How high Michael jumped. And then the fist bump. That was wild, dude. I don't really think myself, I can't prove this, that little tap, that little redirection, if you will, that Michael dropped on Russell's, his thigh or his butt, wherever, somewhere around there. I just think Russell was kind of overcommitting in a direction. And I don't know. I don't think it was something like clutching of the jersey that they it wasn't that egregious. So but it did happen. And then he swished it, didn't even think about hitting the rim because he's MJ. BT, drink food of choice during the games here. Yeah, I mean, listen, well, at Borelli's, and I'll be back out at Borelli's tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Be back out in the crib. That's becoming a crib. When I'm home, I don't really eat like we'll have dinner, and a lot of the times now it's kind of slowing down now because the leagues that now weekends are still stacked with games, but there was a point where every night during the Hawks series, every single series here, where my daughter had a softball game, I was coaching, my son had a rec game, I'm watching, my son had a basketball game, I'm watching. It was every night. So it's like all hands on deck, order sushi, get a pizza, maybe make something one night. Now we're a little bit more conventional. So I just kind of eat whatever. Like last night, my wife made chicken and green beans and salad. Well, it was a good meal. We sat down, finally got to sit down as a foursome again. It's been a while. The point is, I don't sit there and mange during these games. Now, NFL Sunday's a little different. That's kind of a treat day. I mean, I treat myself other days too. Oh my God, I'm just sitting here like I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, a cheat day. Come on, dude. I eat whatever I want. Who am I kidding? But during the NFL season, it's the roast beef, it's the mozzarella, it's the roasted red peppers, it's a little swath of pesto sauce, it's the bag of chips, it's the ginger ale, it's the cucumber salad, maybe a little shrimp salad mixed in there. I don't do that for baseball or basketball, and I never drink during the week. I just don't drink during the week. Now, when I'm out in public, right? When I'm at somewhere like Borelli's, I'll definitely have a couple of beers, which I had. We had a couple of buckets at the table. I don't know. I probably had 4 or 5, whatever. Had a shot after it. They always go around with celebratory shots. Everybody, I think it was a Jägermeister. So it brought me back to college. But, I'm also in a public setting. I'm not going to sit there and get wasted. Now, if I'm at the fire pit watching a Yankees World Series game, maybe there'll be a different degree of getting tuned up. And J-Rod knows what I mean with that. But no, I don't eat like a Gavone, and I don't drink like a sailor watching these games. Although the other night we did have a pizza and we had like a chicken Parmesan wrap, which was phenomenal, right?
Dude, that food was fire, man. Like
I told you,
straight up. I mean, it's been easily top 5 pizzas I've had in the state of New York. So I'll give them that.
There you go. Well, they've got the brick oven. Everybody thinks when I mentioned Borelli's that we're just going there to root the Knicks on, which we are. But I mean, the food is it's not even sneaky good. It's just straight up amazing. Yeah. WEMBY wouldn't survive in the 90s. That scarecrow. What did I call him yesterday? Beanpole? What did I call him?
Beanpole punk.
Yeah, I don't know.
That video was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I had to drop the word punk
Dude,
in there.
What you said was better than Carton, bro. And even I loved what Carton said, but he said punk ass bitch. And
did he really?
And I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
That's going deep. I mean, really, some of the moves he's doing though, they are bitchy. I mean, you go into somebody's knee. I mean,
what's worse than that? No one does that anymore. Other than
I wouldn't. I try not to describe somebody like that, but I'm not about to sit here and say Craig's wrong. I mean, do you really disagree with that assertion if you're a Knicks fan right now?
Not at all.
Wrong language, but I mean, he got his point across, right?
Not at all.
Oh,
no, I mean, other than Embiid, really, you can't. And Wemby, oh my God, he has lapped Embiid in terms of dirty player.
He's dirty, bro.
Yeah, like straight up. Like Embiid has gone for the leg a couple times, but it's not like this dude is attacking multiple players in one game type stuff.
Nope.
No, he's a freaking lunatic.
Hang on, got to put wifey to work. Can you please make me a cup of coffee? Throw a little heart emoji out there. Let her know that I really want it. I should do it anyway, but order please.
Here's the I guess here's the one thing. This is the one thing where
let's see how long it takes. Jay. Let's see how long it takes.
How long was it last time?
Very fast. But she's also doing some work. We've got a business. She's got a business call at coming up pretty soon. So if she's not busy, she'll absolutely do it. And hopefully, if she is busy, she'll drop what she's doing and she'll still do it.
Do it either way.
Yes. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, I mean, just respond to this. This is the one thing about Wemby that I think people who like older basketball can respect. The fact that he is not buddy-buddy with anybody that is not on the Spurs. This guy is not hugging you. He is not laughing with you. He is not doing any of that with you if you are not on his team. And that's just the one thing you can respect about this guy. He's got the, well, there's a few things more than one you can respect. You can respect his freaking game. But like for his personality wise, I do like that. Listen, he rides for his teammates no matter what. He's Spurs first. He's not anything second. He is Spurs. And that's I agree. It. He doesn't care about All-Star. He doesn't care about da-da-da-da. He's Spurs. Now, do I think he's the kind of player who would travel to a different team to win a championship? Absolutely. I think he's that kind of guy too. But for now, he's Spurs.
Yeah, I can't make that determination yet.
It's early. Yeah. In his European career, he bounced to a lot of different teams.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
In search of a championship. And I think he's that kind of guy who's got that. Oh my, like he's got that fire of just that's the most important.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to, just take the Euro experience and just, kind of equate it over here. I don't know. But the one thing, let's not make it seem like Wemby's the only cat doing that. I know that we kind of bang on the younger generation for certain things, but Ant-Man's not messing around with the other team.
Definitely.
And by the way, name a Nick. I'll wait. Name a Nick that you're like, dude, stop buddying up the other team. You ever see Alvarado do that?
Hell no.
You ever see Jalen Brunson do that?
Nope.
You ever see Josh Hart do that?
Nope.
I go through the entire roster, and there's not a single Nick that has done that once. At least, that I can recall, and certainly not in a real big game. Never.
Yeah.
No way. So there's a lot of throwback going on here, which I like. But to me, it's unfair, but it's also very obvious what the NBA is doing with Wemby. Operation Protect Wemby at all costs has been unleashed. It's been unleashed, and I believe that that's going to further manifest itself tomorrow night in the way the whistle is utilized. Their mission is to, maybe mission strong. Their hope, all right, was whenever the Knicks are really good, and it's not been that often, but last couple of years, obviously it has been. Whenever the Knicks are really good, of course the league office wants the Knicks in the finals. Look at the ratings. They're through the roof, right? That's obvious. Same with the Yankees, Dodgers, you know the deal, right? So now I don't know if they necessarily guide them there. I don't believe that. Some do, whatever. But once the Knicks get to the finals and deliver the ratings that outside of the Lakers, no other team in the NBA can deliver, right? Well, then the NBA's job is done. Knicks are there, making money, everybody happy. If I ask you, J-Rod, financially, what is more of an economic boost to the NBA? The Knicks winning the championship or Wemby winning the championship? Very easy question.
The Knicks winning the championship.
No.
Really?
No way.
You don't think so?
What I want to hear your reason first, though. I don't think so. No. Oh, you didn't think much on that. You see, you got to read. Come on, man.
It was knee jerk.
Come on, Jay. What are we doing?
I mean, in terms of the Knicks, you're thinking Brunson, OG, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mikal Bridges jerseys will sell in perpetuity for years to come. You'll be able to capitalize on the classic Knicks, Mitchell, and Ness jerseys with those guys. Keep the New York market. However, to your point, with the Wemby, the international money that they would pull in with him as an NBA champion would be absolutely astronomical. And as well as it sets up his finances, not his finances, but the NBA's ability to make money off of him for years to come, for 20 years to come.
That's the right answer.
There you go.
That's the right answer. So, no matter what, Jalen could go out and drop 38 tomorrow and shoot, 59%, hit 4 or 5 threes, and the Knicks will be champions. And I don't think around the world while I'm not saying there's no people jumping into this Knicks story, I'm certainly not saying that, but think about that versus Wemby. I mean, no matter what Jalen does tomorrow, he's not going to be a global entity. He's just not. And that's okay. He's not chasing that. I couldn't give a shit. Don't matter to me. Just give me a championship, you know? Same with Bridges. Same with everybody on the team. Wemby's the one player, due to several things, including his international blood and his size and all that other stuff, that is going to be the economic engine of the NBA. So once the Knicks get there, that's good for the NBA. But, you know, if and when Wemby eventually wins his first championship, think about the jerseys sold in Europe. Think about the people here. It's just different. So to me, it's very obvious. Same thing, like there was a thought that it might be Anthony Edwards, the face of the NBA, right before Wemby. And he's not interested in that. Now, maybe Wemby's not interested in that, but he's not going to have a choice because he's, you know, an international. It's like the Beatles. I mean, like the early days of the Beatles, it's coming. Ant had no interest in that. And I think the league senses that. Like, he's old school. He's not into the commercialization and all that stuff. And if Anthony Edwards was playing right now and won a championship versus Wemby playing right now and possibly winning a championship, again, you tell me which is the bigger economic boost to the NBA. It's Wemby. You can name anybody in the NBA right now. It's Wemby. So when I tell you that Operation Protect Wemby is well underway, believe me. Probably no coffee yet here, J-Rod. And I don't know if she read the message here.
Uh-oh.
It just says delivered. Mama might be busy. Huh. I tell you, I'm losing my voice from all this yelling.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow night's about to be another freaking hit.
Mm-hmm.
Although, you know what? Hopefully for Knicks fans' freaking health sake, tomorrow night is just, listen, Knicks win cleanly. I guess for story's sake, maybe you don't want that, but I don't know. I think for just the sanity of Knicks fans, if the Knicks could just pull off like a 10 to 12 point victory tomorrow, oh my goodness.
That would be a nice script.
Years of lives would be saved.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just hard not to think about that moment, man.
I mean, it could be tomorrow freaking night, man.
I know.
And I know we're talking a lot about Spurs, Wemby here.
Sure.
The Knicks got to go out and do it tomorrow.
They got to play better.
Listen, obviously still respect if they have another comeback victory in the whole thing. But I think as Knicks fans, you guys might be getting tired of seeing the same story over and over again. I don't know. Like, if tomorrow was another, this is purely hypothetical. I don't think.
Yeah, I got you.
If tomorrow was another down 20-point comeback to the Spurs, I mean, what would Knicks fans even think? It would be both the greatest, craziest playoff all time and the most like, what was my team doing playoff run of all time? Yeah,
but the second part's going to be quickly forgotten. You know, what was my team doing?
Exactly.
And I saw Greeny was doing something this morning. I was going to jot down the list, have a little fun with it, see if I agreed where. And I think he prefaced what he's seen. So like Bobby Thompson's home run and crazy stuff with Willie Mays, 54 World Series, Vic Wertz against the then Indians over the shoulder. Like, he didn't do that stuff. He started with Reggie with the 3 home runs in the World Series. He had David Tyree's helmet catch. He left the Knicks out because he didn't want to jinx them. Like top 5 most improbable. I forget how we framed it. And I was in the middle doing some research for the show. I was kind of half watching. It's funny. A lot of people, and we're not there yet, obviously, but a lot of people are trying to, put potentially a potential Knicks championship up there with the Eli, with the helmet catch and all that. Look who they beat, quarterback, coach, all-time stuff. Number one, there's just fewer checkpoints in the NFL. Number one.
Big time.
Number two, the way they've come back here is, I'm not saying the Giants didn't have any comebacks at all, but I just don't see it to be the same way myself. I don't. Dude, this is insane. Most double-digit wins in a single preseason, right? So the 2013 Heat had 12. They won the championship. The Spurs had 12. They won the championship. The Cavs had 12. They won the championship. The Warriors had 12, 17. They won the championship. And the 2026 Knicks have 12. And they won the championship.
Preseason wins?
Most double-digit wins in a single postseason.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of crazy because I feel like every game I watch, at least for the last couple of weeks, I'm biting my nails where they've basically just been drilling everybody. Like, it's easy to forget they won by 51, they won by 37, they won by, like, going into the finals, their average margin of victory was 20.2 points per game.
That is, that is just, I mean, and it's funny how quickly, you forget these things. And also, I mean, obviously it's the playoffs, so it's got less memorability than the finals itself. But yeah, man, I mean, up until this point, there was no, other than 2 or 3 games, there was no sweat on the Knicks fans' foreheads. There was not a single bead of sweat for most of those games.
Which worried me.
Other than Cleveland game 1, Sixers game 2.
True. Game 2, that's right. Which worried me because, and it was less about like the Knicks' ability to adapt to the situation. And, I had faith, once I actually saw them playing a different style of ball than the style that worried me, which, by the way, the other night, for most of the night was pretty much the way that they looked when I didn't like them and I didn't believe in them. Anyway, the one concern was I'm a believer in being calloused, and having moments that you can learn from, whether you win or you lose. I'm a firm, staunch believer in that, applying to so many things in life, not just the NBA finals, but non-sports things as well. And even like the one thing that prevented me from really worrying about it was the Knicks' focus and this group's professionalism. But, when you're tuning everybody up to the average of 20 points a night, you're not really in many situations where you've got to operate with a slow heartbeat under duress. I mean, we talked about coming into the finals, right? Every clinching game, Jalen Brunson didn't play a single second. Amazing. I can promise you in the fourth quarter, obviously. I can promise you that never happened to Bird. I don't even have to look this up. Didn't happen to Bird. Didn't happen to Magic. Didn't happen to MJ. Didn't happen to Kobe. Didn't happen to Shaq. Didn't happen to Wilt. Didn't happen to Bill Russell. Didn't happen to anybody. Like, there's no way. Didn't happen to Steph. Well, maybe we should check Steph.
Yeah, I'd say potentially some of those earlier series in those Warrior runs, especially 2016, 2017. I have a feeling he might have been setting out some fourth quarter.
But every one. That's the key.
Yes,
every series clinching win coming into the finals, 0 seconds combined.
Yeah, that's a different stat. Yeah, that's a different stat. I have a feeling that is probably not true for most other players in NBA.
If not all. That's my point.
That's freaking ridiculous.
Crazy. According to Google, the NBA ratings haven't been this good nearly 3 decades. Yeah, they are on fire. No surprise. You got New York. You have a international sensation. What's that, Jay?
Yeah. No, I was going to say, you have the best finals matchup in years. It's the most interesting, it's the most entertaining, and it's the one where the outcome means the most for the rest of NBA history and the past of NBA history.
17 mil for game 1, up 90% from last year. I didn't even see 90%. I'm going to trust the numbers. I'm going to have to fact check them.
Yeah, last year, who was watching that?
But still, up 90%? Not like it's up 23%.
Yeah, 90% to me makes sense. I would be surprised if it almost wasn't 100. Like, Knicks, Spurs, Thunder, Pacers.
I
don't know. And
I get it.
Thunder obviously are a great team. Shea's got, dude, if you think, like, people hate Wemby, man, people hate Shea.
I don't hate Shea. I love Shea.
You may not, but in terms of NBA discourse online, on Twitter, on Instagram.
Yeah, I know.
Shea might as well be public. He might as well be the worst man who ever touched the court.
Yep. So it's because of the flopping, right?
Yes, it's the flop. Yeah, 100. Well, I think it's just the calls their team gets in general. Like,
for sure.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine what Knicks fans would be saying if they were playing. Like, and it would be totally different because Wemby's is an idea of physicality. He's doing things that aren't, basketball moves. Whereas, like, if the Thunder were playing the Knicks, I have a feeling it would just be like, tweet, 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 tweet.
Maybe. And here's the irony, too. I love Shea. Right? I love him. And Wemby's awesome, but I love Shea, and I got some problems with Wemby here, the ones I just chronicled. But the irony would be that I actually like if it was player X and player Y. Let's say both amazing, which they both are, totally different players, but both amazing. Player X en route to his greatness is viewed as a flopper. Player Y en route to his greatness is viewed as a dirty player. I'd be like, blindly not seeing names. I'm like, give me the dirty player. It's a bit of a throwback.
Definitely. Big
But
time.
yet, knowing the names and knowing the situations, I'm much more of a Shea fan than a Wemby fan. That's counter to what I would think that I would think.
I mean, it totally. I mean, just based off this finals, I think Wemby and the Knicks are going to be going. I'm not necessarily in the finals, but I think for the rest of his career, those regular season matchups are going to be great.
Oh my God!
Have so much vitriol behind them. It's going to be so much fun.
I gotta look something up. Hold on.
And also, at this point in time, obviously, because back to your point, you can't just give people the crown before they've really been through the obstacles. Yeah, I mean, I would currently trust Shea more to give me a championship than Wemby too, just because he's had more of that adversity.
All right, here I knew it. All right, I want to make sure it wasn't a parody account. Did you see what my guy Stephen A said the other day about the championship ring?
About not taking one.
Yep.
Yes, I did see that.
Okay, so Steve, I mean, this looks real. So Stephen A said that he does not want a ring if the Knicks win.
Is that an option?
Dude, Steve, who was going to give you one? Was that even up to debate? What? Why would he get a ring?
Dude,
I'm confused.
I literally saw it. I don't even know why that would have been a thought in the first place. I mean, you're not hired by the Knicks organization. You're not even the janitor for the Knicks. You don't even take the garbage out from the bathroom to the back of the tunnel. Like why would you what about what you have done deserves a ring? I mean, and listen, I love my guy Stephen A here.
Oh, it's the best.
But you didn't propel the Knicks to a championship. If anything, along the way, you tore down and you questioned every decision they made. Right? The championship. I mean, if you saw the video, I saw the clip last night, and I'm not even going to hold him to this because so many Knicks fans said this.
What?
If you saw his reaction to the Jalen Brunson signing when it first happened, he was not happy whatsoever.
Not like mine. I loved him. And you can go find that. You can find that receipt.
You know what?
Enough receipts out there with the bad stuff. Go find the good ones with me and Brunson.
Honestly, I give you credit for that because you kind of beat out a lot of other New York hosts in the sense that a lot of other people were kind of questioning the decision.
Yeah, I was pretty much the only one who nailed it. Pretty much. Now I saw him at Villanova and I'm like, this dude's different. How is it going to really translate? A little small, a little slow, but there was just something not tangible, not to mention, I mean, he was obviously a very good player, but I loved him. So, by the way, here's the origin of the Stephen A stuff, right? Quote, it's a little bit of a lengthy read. Then I'll get to the calls. I'll get some Yankee stuff as well. I'm at our nation's capital in the studio where they do PTI, and I'm doing First Take. They're down 2-1 to the Hawks. This is a transcript, right? And I almost caught a stroke on national TV because I'm yelling the hell off like, you better not lose this series. You better not. Calling everybody out. Cheerleaders, dancing, everybody getting fired. Mike Brown's going to be gone. Cat's going to be traded. Bridges, U2. This is all his quote. Everything. Yep. They ain't lost a game since. All right? So this is before the other night. Before 1-2. Hold on. 1-2. Before game 3. Before game 3, obviously. They ain't lost a game since. They ain't lost a game since that rant. So you all can talk about me all you want to. I'll do it again. And then Wilbon. All right, so this is the genesis of it. It's obviously, it's playful. It's got to be. And then Wilbon, and Wilbon's his boy. He looks up to Micah Wilbon. I think that if I asked him, and I could have asked him this when I had him on the show. If you guys missed it, it was a couple of months ago. He was great. Stephen A's been on leash for sure, and we'll get him back. But he's told me forever. If I asked him the other day or a couple of months ago, hey, who do you respect the most in the? I really think that he would say Michael Wilbon. That's how tight they are. Anyway, Wilbon's fantastic. Then Wilbon asked Smith, if he would take a ring if the Knicks give him one. Good question, because it's going to set him up maybe for some bombastic yes. Instead, a little curveball from Stephen A. I don't want one. I don't want it. I didn't earn one. Only Spike deserves that. Spike doesn't deserve one either. Let's not get nuts, Steve. I don't deserve that. Don't deserve that, he said humbly. But this is a little negative. This is funny, though. But I'll tell you this much. I'm telling you this right now. I don't need one. Been a Knicks fan all my life. We waited 53 years. Don't blow this. Don't blow this at all. You understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's not going to be healthy. All right. Now, I know because I've known him forever, and I know that he was a Knicks fan growing up. I know that. I'm not here to test my man's credentials. All right. And like I said when I had him on, and I believe it, he is the Howard Cosell of this generation. I know him differently than all of you know him. Like, the bombastic Steve. I know the soft Steve, this like the side of Steven where I know his sisters. I just know the dynamics of what made him him, right? And he is a great human being. I love the man. Mm-hmm. But this is undeniable. The man checked out. The man checked out on the Knicks. Come on, bro. Steve.
Oh, of course.
Steve, hold on. Steve, who we playing here, man? Come on. I mean, when you were doing your thing, climbing the escalator, and you earned it all, bro, and you are the man, to the penthouse of sports reporting, $1 million deals, $5,000 suits, Shaq giving you the ice. Shaq used to get, I remember when I was working with him, he's like, yo, look what Shaq gave me. It must have been $25,000 bracelet, diamonds. I'm like, holy, I wouldn't know if I give that to my wife. I mean, Shaq's giving it to you. The man, the absolute man. And I know that you had other responsibilities, Kwame Brown, all the things that made you the guy. And you are the best, man. Nothing but love. But you don't have the stripes that we have. You don't have the pelts that some of us have, because some of us never left. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, if I was making that kind of cheese as well, talking about things that actually mattered in the NBA, would have been easy to forget about Keith Van Horn, when he was on the Knicks, and Eddie Curry. Now, I'm not saying you weren't happy that the Knicks weren't very good, but you weren't in the trenches because you were too busy. Too busy. So, if anything, I deserve a ring more than you do. I deserve a ring more than you do, Steve. Love you. Respect from the heart. My absolute guy. Come on, man. We know what you were watching when the Knicks sucked, and it wasn't the Knicks. All right, Jay. So I'm sure that's going to find Stephen A, and somebody's going to misinterpret that. He's the best, man, but let's not front on that. We all know.
BT a ring.
We all know. You're right. Yo, I got hold on, hang on. I got my Johnny's ring. No, that's
that's sick.
Yo, I got my Johnny's ring.
Oh my God.
How sick is that, bro?
So sick.
That was for the Big East championship last year.
Yep.
Oh, not the one that they just won. They went back to back.
Yep.
Okay?
Of course.
So this was from a couple of years ago. I got to start rocking this stuff.
Is
doing a show?
Sorry to do a side for the Johnnies real quick.
I'm going to start doing this.
Is Zuby going to get drafted? Zuby's going to get drafted this year.
Oh, Zuby's going to get drafted. Zuby had a great workout with the Knicks. Now, I don't want to
get him on the Celtics.
Screw the Celtics. He would look terrible in that uniform. I think that Zuby, who had a killer workout with the Knicks and a few others, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand. Well, I mean, I do, but I thought it was wrong. And not just because he's playing for St. John's, right? Or did. I love the mock stuff, and I follow it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really inundate. Football's different. I'm not going to do an hour and a half on the NBA draft because basically none of you know more than two of the kids who are going to get drafted.
You go AJ Diabonsa, and then, all right, who else?
Yeah. True. So, anyway, I don't really do much of that, but I follow it, right? And, during the season, I remember doing this last year with RJ Lewis as well, where Lewis was like second round. I'm like, I think he's got a little bit more of a late first round skill set. Anyway, didn't go first round. We know his story. He's back in college, right? So Zuby is so different than RJ Lewis, and he too started, I think, at a disrespectful level in terms of where he was being pegged in terms of the NBA draft, right? 38, 41, slowly, I think he's going to go late first round. I really
Nice.
think he's going to secure a late first round. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think Zuby's going to come in and average, 22 and 10. No. But he is such a versatile defender, 1 through 5. So jumping out, he does things that are going to translate to the NBA. Jumping out on the pick and roll, switching, being able to guard a 3 that could, put it on the deck or, and then rotate to the corner and contest the shot. He can roll to the rim with somebody who's bigger, not necessarily Jokic, but like he can at least be a deterrent for an extent.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to determine if he gets a big second contract, which I believe he will, because nobody works as hard as that young man. I love that kid. He is awesome. Zuby is phenomenal, people, is his jump shot. And I like his mechanics. Like it's funny, anytime St. John's signs a player, whether it's a kid from high school or now at the portal, and like they've got bad shooting numbers, like 3-point, whatever, I will look at them, and I've said this to Mink a ton of times. The numbers are fine, okay. I look at the mechanics. Is there a flow to the shot? Is there a consistency to the routine? Like I'm trying to teach this to my son, and he's starting to get it a little bit. You don't have to do what Daddy did, but I would always take 2 quick dribbles. I'd spin it, 1 more dribble, lock in, bang, let it go. And dude, I'm CYO. I'm not going nuts with that, but I can shoot a little bit. But it's about a routine. And I remember when he came from Kansas. This is obviously about Zuby, not us beating St. Thomas in a Christmas tournament. I remember saying to Mink, I'm like, I like his mechanics. I think he's going to be a pretty. No, I didn't say good. He's not going to be a liability. Like he'll be decent. Mm-hmm. And that was when he first came. And remember, he was 3 years at St. John's. He played only 5 minutes a game for Billy Self at Kansas. He was very raw. And each year that I started seeing, foul line extended, little corner jump shot, Zuby head of the circle. They're going to lay off wide open. College, 3-point line is obviously shorter. And I started seeing him a couple percentages, not great, but he's got the framework. He's got a framework to be a good shooter. Certainly not a deficient shooter. And so I do think he'll play a long time. You got to get him in the right situation, and the Knicks would be the right situation. But I don't know who's going to draft him. I do think he sneaks in late first. And even if he doesn't, I still think he has an 8 to 10 year NBA career. I really believe that. I do.
There we go. We go.
Yep. Yeah. All right. What else do I have to do here? I want to get some Yankee stuff. Let's see here. What's this here? What's this? The Yankee thing. That's a little. I know it's random here, but what's your NBA comp on Zuby? That's a tough one. What about Udonis Haslem? Maybe somebody like that.
Okay.
How's that for a poll? Is that a decent poll?
That's a decent poll.
Yeah. Zuby low end is Malik Rose. No, I don't see it. Malik was very different. If you look up Malik Rose, who was with the Spurs and a really respected guy, I think he was the head of the union for a while. Great dude. He was one of my go-to quotes in the Knicks locker room when I was covering them. Because he'd basically be like, God, get me out of here.
I think you were talking about this the other day.
Great guy. And he played against one of my buddies that I grew up with who played at Hofstra when he was at Drexel. And that's how I kind of introduced. I'm like, I grew up with this kid, Schaefer from Hofstra. He's like, Jimmy was a dog, man. So we hit it off pretty well. Malik Rose is only about 6'5". I know people think that he's like, because he was thicker and stronger. NBA was very different back then. But no, Zuby is a superior athlete, whether it's getting off to the ground, whether it's, point A to point B, whether it's stop and start, whether it's defending. I don't see that. I would go more Haslem, maybe a slightly quicker version of Haslem, maybe. When he first came in. All right, let's get some calls here. Let's get Danny up first on Unleashed. Let's do it. Danny's checking in. What's up, Dano? How are you?
Hey, BT, how you doing, man? I'm still recovering from the other night.
Tell me about it, dude.
Trying to get my voice back.
It's knocking years off our life here, buddy.
My God.
I know.
The first half was like, it took years off my life, but I'm just sitting there depressed. I'm watching it as it's unfolding, and then I'm like, all right, they're chipping away. I was starting to feel like they might get, make the comeback, and of course they did. And it was
but when did you feel that? Because I really didn't feel that at all until it was like, 7, 8 points. Like I wasn't feeling it.
Like they were coming back or going to win?
Win.
I think when Brunson hit that 3 on Wemby.
Okay.
Now, I'd have to rewatch it again to really because
Yeah.
it was like I didn't really understand what I was watching. It was like in a dream. I'm like, is this really happening? It was crazy.
Yeah. It's theater. Like, it's one thing, we all want the Knicks championship, but and we're gonna get it eventually, hopefully tomorrow. But the theater and the levels of improbability and it's just, you just can't make this shit up.
No, yeah, you couldn't have scripted it the way it happened. Like,
I
you're
agree.
down 29 points on your home court, and it's in the was it 29 in the second half or the first half? I'm trying to remember.
Well, it was 29 at the half.
Was that the half? Okay. Yeah,
Before Wu came and saved us.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wu.
Yeah, I mean, and to go what you were talking about with Wemby earlier. I mean, I'm sick of the guy being anointed like as the face of the league. I mean, I myself, after watching the OKC series, I was kind of saying, he probably is getting there. He probably will be the face of the NBA, but not yet. And now after watching him, this is now you're watching him like it's the 4 games. It's you see he's a dirty player.
Yeah, he is.
That video of him, I think he posted on Twitter.
Yep.
It's all over the internet. Like
with OG.
On OG.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Well, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, what were you doing?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Dan,
funny
look at it this way, Dan. One thing, Dan. Look at it this way, Dan. Yeah. I think it was absolutely dirty, and I believe that there was intent there. But I mean, if he was trying to do what I think he was doing, it's not dirty. It's reprehensibly filthy, right? So I almost want to give him a little wiggle room, but I don't know how else you can see that video unless you say 7'4" frame, not real strong, skinny, pushed off his mark, awkward land. I mean, if you want to lean on that, be my guest. I have a rough time subscribing to that.
I know that angle looks like he's jumping at him. Like it doesn't. It's hard to say like he was pushed and he was like off balance. That looks like he's jumping and trying to take his leg out.
I hear you, dude. I'm with you, Danny. Yeah, I agree.
And he's a cocky dude. I mean, Tiki yesterday was calling him a cocky ass. Like
I saw that.
It was great.
I saw it. Hey, listen, I have taught Tiki well. You know, Tiki has been in in the studio for 10 years with me. He's heard some explosions. I don't know if Tiki's saying that, a couple of years ago. Tiki's been getting a little raw. That boy, Tiki. Let him know, Tiki.
I know. He's going up there and being in the Sixers series too, and that was going all over the place. And I think the Philly radio or Philly, I don't know, people in Philly were going.
I saw that. Hugh Douglas.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm following. That a boy, Tiki. Stand your ground, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, dude. Enjoy the game. Enjoy tonight before the game. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you Monday.
All right, man. Be good, dude.
You got it, Danny. Thank you very much. Jay, where are you watching the game again?
Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to I'm going Brooklyn or Manhattan. I mean, listen. I would love to come out to Borelli's, but I think I got to be in the city to see this happen. I really do.
I got you. You couldn't pay me to be in the city to see this happen.
No, I mean, I'm sure. I'm so
passionate, dude. I've had my days. I've had my crazy moments. I'll have fun tomorrow night if they win. You cannot pay me to be in the middle of that. And that I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I know. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like I'm actually worried. Win or lose, it's going to be freaking madness. Now, more so if they win. But here's what's funny: it's madness, but it's really only madness from like a 4-street radius and like a 3-avenue radius. It's from like width, It's from like 34th to 38th, maybe a little bit ducked down into like 33rd, 32nd, and it's from like 4th to like 8th Avenue. And it's just like that block of land. You're right.
Crazy. Once you step out of it, dude, it's freaking. You're right. It's dead. It is.
I know the areas very well. I lived in Manhattan for 10 years. I worked there. No, you're right. You start going toward the West Side Highway, you should be in good shape. Find a nice bar, but have fun trying to get there is the point.
Exactly. When you're in that, when I was in it, after game 2. You literally, it is so.
Wait.
Oh man.
She's on a call.
I'm gonna
copy. Hold on.
Absolutely.
She's on this call. I'm gonna copy him. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can actually hear her, and it's for business for me. So
You gotta
All right.
respect it in that.
Copy and paste. There you go. Let's I'm gonna start calling her soon. That's where I'm gonna be too lazy to even text. I'm like, honey, can you get me some coffee, please? No, you're right, though. It is very much in a concentrated area for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be nuts. Whatever's happening in that concentrated area, it's going to be absolutely horrible. Listen, cars are going to get wrecked. Poles are going to be uplifted out the ground. It's going to be absolute pandemonium.
Yep.
But
As
it'll be a good celebration.
As Gorilla Monsoon would say, it's pandemonium here in the garden. The old wrestling announcer. I thought he was trying to step on his foot. Yeah. Because it was such an emphatic step down, but there was like a little, God, I mean, we're dissecting this frame by frame, but that's what you do. It almost looked like he was trying to kick his knee. And then when he missed that, went out and then it went down and it was like a kick stomp. It was weird, man. It was just, I don't know how you justify that. I mean, to me, I did believe that there was bad intent. Yeah. Here's breaking news. Mike Brown's been really good these playoffs. I know. Mike Brown, I mean, Alvarado and Brunson, I don't think they played 1 second together before the other night.
No,
I don't think they played
not.
1 second together. I don't think that they did.
That's so crazy because my roommate told me that they should do it before that game, that they should run that lineup out. Wow, man.
Well, that's a good job by him. I didn't quite call it, but I did talk about going into the last game, going into game 4, and just seeing what happened in game 3. I'm like, all right. And all their players, Castle, Vassell, Wemby, Champagne, everybody, Harper, the Aaron Fox. But one of the issues, Cornette, one of the issues with this matchup, and one of the reasons why the Knicks have been losing basically every game by a lot, is that they only have one truly dynamic ball handler in Brunson, unless you have Alvarado out there with him. I'm curious. Now, Bridges was silent. He had a little flicker early. What was the guy next to us? He said he bet, what did he bet?
Bridges, 25 points.
I'm like, Mikal Bridges? I know.
London Bridges. What the, bro?
London Bridges,
thinking,
yeah.
Dude?
Todd Bridges. Different Strokes. Todd Bridges.
Oh, that's a good one.
Did you ever watch Different Strokes?
I've certainly heard of it.
Oh, dude.
Strokes.
I used to love that. That's when sitcoms, Jay. That's when now we stream things. We don't do this with my kids at all. I mean, we stream stuff, but when I was growing up, it was like you couldn't wait for whatever night. I forget what night they were on, but whatever night, Different Strokes was on or Happy Days.
What are your thoughts on Sanford and Son? That's
I
what
love
my
Sanford
boys
and Son.
love, dude. That's what my friends love. Oh, yeah. Okay. Of course, I've seen Different Strokes. Come on now. I took a television class, and that was one of the shows we watched an episode of.
I have a couple of. That was a great one. I mean, man, that was really good. You know what I used to love? Good Times. You ever see Good Times?
Oh, Good Times. Oh, I don't think so.
It was about a
sitcom.
It was dude. Groundbreaking.
Never.
I think it was in 19. No, I didn't see it in 1972. I saw it in syndication, but I think it was 1972, and it was Norman Lear, who is a legend, as you know, Archie Bunker and all that stuff, the Jeffersons, others, and it was the first on mainstream TV, which means anywhere, the first depiction of an African American family. So I mean, it's got that's what you probably should have seen in class.
Yeah,
that's the one with real historical value. And inner city family, the mom, religious, always trying to hold it together. The dad, John Amos, I love John Amos, man, stud, who's trying to keep the family together, tough but loving, but trying to protect the family. I mean, they were in the projects in Chicago, and the theme song, "Good Times." Oh man. Anytime you need a favor. I loved it. And I love Thelma too. I'm not gonna lie to you. So the thing about those things back in the day was the show would start and the theme songs were so freaking catchy. There's something on YouTube from 1980 all the way up to 89, right? Whether it was, and my parents watched Dallas and Falcon's Crest and some of those other ones, but it had every sitcom a 20, 30-second jingle of the open.
Oh, that's sick.
Dude, You
I'll
want to talk
check
about Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley? I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but just phenomenal. Why are we talking about this? Phenomenal stuff.
It came off of somebody commented something.
God, those songs.
Something about whatever the show
Sanford and
was.
Son?
Before that, whatever the show you mentioned before that. What you talking about, Willis?
Different Strokes. That's right.
Different
That's
Strokes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And like the premises were just so, I don't know, like they were unique. I mean, now pretty much everything's been done, but think about Good Times, that had never happened on TV before. And then Different Strokes. And this is the reason why I liked it. And I wasn't really thinking about this in real time, but as an adult, you can appreciate it. You've got an affluent, multi-millionaire on Park Avenue adopting 2 young black kids and then integrating them into the family with his daughter and the housekeeper. Like, my sister loved Facts of Life. I didn't like that as much. But that was like 4 or 5, I think it was 4 girls at a private prep school. I mean, Mrs. Garrett, who was the housekeeper for Different Strokes. Oh my God. I love this stuff. But they don't make it. It's like,
no, it's totally different.
There's no anticipation like, oh, hey, all right, it's 7:54. Show starts at 8. And then as I'm getting older, like now Growing Pains is coming on. And then obviously Who's the Boss? And my all-time favorite, Charles in Charge.
Okay.
I
don't think.
Well, just do yourself a favor. Just Google young Nicole Eggert.
Nicole.
Just do it now. Yo, but you got to do young.
Holy Baywatch, right?
Well, this was before Baywatch.
Oh, even
so
before.
do Charles in Charge.
Charles in Charge.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sound creepy here. She was, the same age as me back then.
Yeah.
You see it?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Just absolutely stunning. God, she was
Charles in Charge. I've never heard of that.
Charles in Charge of our days and our nights. Scott Baio. I mean, there's a lot of stories from there. I'm not going to get into them, with him and her. That's I'm going to cut the line there. But yeah, all-time favorite. And you want to talk about swiftly going in the GOAT debate of being a 12-year-old from Samantha Maselli, who is the star of Who's the Boss, to quickly say, oh, she's the best, she's the best, she's the best. Then suddenly I'm like, oh, Charles in Charge. It's kind of like what I did with Rachel, with Friends.
With Courtney.
Courtney Cox was #1 the first season, and then Rachel got the haircut, got the highlights. All right, see you, Courtney. We're moving on.
Oh.
All right, let me get some calls here, buddy. Let me let's get Sweet Lou. What is Sweet Lou up to? Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou.
What's going on, my bald-headed brother from another mother?
Yes, sir. The bald is getting a little tan, but as I've gotten older, I wear a hat now when I'm playing golf, a little sunscreen, but it's still bald. That is true. What's up, Louie?
BT, I got to tell you, man, that game yesterday, I'm still recovering. I wanted to call in yesterday, but I just didn't have the energy. It was one of those moments, BT, I turned to my 12-year-old son after the celebration, after the mosh pit at our watch party. I turned at him and I looked at him and I said, you are never, ever going to forget this moment for the rest of your life. This doesn't happen very often.
Very
I
often.
Still
Doesn't
can't
happen
believe
ever.
it's happened.
Yep, I know. So wait, did you host a watch party? Where were you?
I was at a friend's house. He invited me over. My son and I were at his football practice down here in Florida. And he calls me up. He's like, hey, where are we watching this game? And I'm like, well, I didn't have any plans. So what do you got going on? He's like, come over to the house. I got a bunch of people over here. So I went over to his house.
Nice.
He's got, he's a big Dominican family. So they're all rooting for Towns. We're Alvarado guys being on the Puerto Rican side.
Puerto Rican, yep.
And after that game last night, BT, or the night before, I'm telling you, BT, we're buying OG Anunoby jerseys. We're erecting a statue down here in Florida. We're going to commission it. It was absolutely unbelievable.
I know. I'm still hung up on the fact that you said your 12-year-old had football practice in June.
Yeah, no, they start early down here. It's different in Florida, man.
I know.
They got voluntary workouts in June, training camp July, August, and then games in September. And that's Pop Warner.
He's 12. What position?
Right now, defensive end. He's going to be a big kid.
He's just a big boy, huh?
Yeah, he's going to be in the 6'5", 6'6" range.
Wow.
He's about 250, 260. That's
right
how big
now
I am.
he weighs that?
No, that's what I am. He's lining up right with me.
Why did
He's
you
gonna be
play
a
in
big kid.
college? I'm sure you played some football.
No, I didn't have football. I played basketball. I was a power forward in
Oh,
college.
oh, okay. Wow.
Played
I mean, that's early. It's
played
so different up
played a
here.
couple seasons in junior college.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's so different up here. We've got when do they start? They start conditioning like early-ish August. Um, no, it's different in Jersey. It's pretty good football, and some of these private schools are amazing in terms of how good they are. But it's definitely not like mini camp and OTAs and volunteer. No, everybody else is playing something that it's just you juggling 3 sports. I know some kids do that in Florida, but that's early, man. Wow.
Yeah, no,
That's why they're good.
He just finished spring baseball. He's doing basketball right now, and it
Attaboy.
lines up perfectly because his basketball is on Wednesdays and then games on Saturdays, and then his
Perfect.
football voluntary is Tuesday, Thursdays right
Yep.
now. But as soon as his basketball season ends for the summer league, they go into full 5 days a week for 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Training camp in July and August before I'm telling you, it's football is different down south.
No, I know it is, and my wife's from Texas, so I know what football is in some other spots. Wow, listen, dude, enjoy the game, have a blast, enjoy watching with your boy. Good luck during the football season. Check back in, all right?
All right, BT, you take care, brother, and let's go Knicks.
No doubt. Let's go Knicks. Let's do it. Sweet Lou checking in. All right, Louie. Oh, here we go. There she is. Thank you, honey. Don't make it too hot. What's that?
I have a listing for
All right. She has to run out. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, my assistant. Thank you very much. Oh, so you go. That's where she has a big, what is it called? A listing, what? A listing agreement. She's also in real estate. She's absolutely a rock star. So thank you very much, even though it took you 20 minutes to get it over here. We have finally, thank you, baby. I appreciate it. CJ,
There you go.
got to keep asking. And she would have come right away if she was on the call. Yeah, she's been on fire with real estate. Good, because we ain't making a whole lot of money on YouTube yet. That's for damn sure. Keep selling those homes, honey. Keep that bread coming in.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Here's a good question. Unless you want to jump back into the calls right away, but
I'll get to the call. Again.
Interesting one.
Yeah.
Major League 99. Good fan of the show. Ask
Yes, he
BT,
is.
No Rules Friday Q. Do you prefer watching the pitcher who blows it by the hitter 100 miles per hour?
Okay.
The pitcher who outsmarts the hitter, i.e. Nolan Ryan versus Greg Maddux.
It's a great question, but it's not a simple answer. I'll give you my answer though, but I got to walk you through it. You see, back then when you would see, and I didn't see like prime. Well, I mean, Nolan Ryan came up in the 60s. I mean, I was born in the 70s, but he was still. I don't know if I saw prime Nolan, but I definitely saw like a couple of no hitters, whatever. But when Nolan was on the mound, there was only maybe 5 or 6 other guys in baseball that just threw just absolute gas, right? Doc Gooden was one of them. Roger Clemens was another one of them. And so when you saw one of those guys, it was so electric and it just looked so different that I appreciated that. And there were a lot more guys who were crafty. Lefties who were nibbling, hitting the corner, like Jimmy Key, great pitcher. Steve Carlton had a wipeout slider, so I wouldn't put him in that game. He was just dominant. I think as I start to answer the question, I think when I was younger and falling in love with baseball, I think it would be the former, meaning give me Nolan throwing cheese because that's just dynamic stuff. I think now, because everybody throws 96, 97 seemingly on a minimal basis, if you could get me that crafty guy, there's not many of them, I think I'd be so intrigued by that throwback approach that I would probably gravitate to that now as with a deeper appreciation. Now that my playing days are long over, and coaching and seeing what my son works on as a pitcher and other kids, like to me, the art, and it's very hard to do. I never thought it, and I pitched a lot growing up. I didn't think about this once. Nobody said it once, otherwise I would have thought about it. Nor did I ever have a lesson. None of us had lessons back then. But the concept of pitching backwards intrigues me to no end. It's just the exact opposite of what you generally do. And then you hear stories. Was it Bagwell? I think it was Bagwell. I mean, is it a little embellished? I don't know, but I don't think it is. Like, there's a story, and it was floating around on X a while ago, where Maddox was facing Bagwell, and he purposely either threw him like a room service fastball, whatever it was, in a certain spot, and almost, I don't know if he had a home run or got a hit, but almost sacrificed that moment and then put that in his mental database and his back pocket for when they met in the playoffs, and he did the exact opposite. Like, I mean, that's just Jedi stuff. Who's doing that now? Nobody's doing that now. So that's a great question. That's my answer. I think back in the day, we were all intrigued by speed. Just like, the dunk contest. I know some of you still love the dunk contest, but when you see basically every variation of a dunk, it's really, and we have guys jumping over cars, Superman capes, putting stickers up. I don't know what else you're going to do, but you become desensitized to it because it becomes common. And right now, the fastball and the velo is common, much like the home run is common. So it's a really good question. Very good question. What else do we have here? Maddox is one of those guys. I kind of do believe almost everything that I hear or read about Greg Maddox and just how surgical he was and how, I mean, I saw it, but I mean, like the stories that aren't on the stat sheet. Let's see. Bada Boom's boss is taking him to the finals. How about yours, J-Rod? Who is Bada Boom's boss?
I guess it's Sal.
It's Sal.
Well,
Sal's taking him? I didn't even know Sal's going.
I think they're going tomorrow.
That's good. That's awesome, man. That's great.
Gee.
That's going to be great, man. That's awesome. Good for Bada Booms. Good for Sal. It's a great thing.
Yeah, so BT, where's my tickets to the NBA Finals?
Yeah, dude, you're lucky you get paid. Did you get paid yet today?
Yes, I did.
All right, I don't know. Was Bada Boom's getting paid when he first started?
Probably.
I don't know. I feel like I heard him say that he wasn't.
Really?
Early. I don't know.
They had this boy on the internship deal?
I don't know, man.
No,
maybe Sal's got some deep internship. You've got to progress your way. Maybe this is the reward. I don't know. That's great, though.
How did he get Booms?
I have no idea. No, actually, I do. I'm sorry.
Did Sal do a similar podcast to Unkillable?
No,
he didn't. Okay.
No. What he told me, I believe this, what he told me was that I think Bada Booms reached out to him.
That's awesome.
When things went down at the Fan.
Yeah.
And, hey, I'm a big fan.
Holy shit.
I'd love to do some stuff with you. And I don't know. I don't know if they, I don't even think they met. I don't know. I don't want to talk out of school, but I believe that sounds, I'm pretty sure that's what Sal told me a while ago. And listen, it's not that different. Like it was crazy too, because I went through when something like that happens so publicly as it did to both me and Sal, you're going to have the people who jump into the trolls and the haters, and that's fine. Doesn't bother me at all. But the overwhelming amount of love and support, and not to sound corny, but it really was love. And it really was support and the affection. And like a lot of people just felt that we got screwed. Plain English.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? And I think there was a desire to help elevate us and almost like protect is strong. But in the content sphere, that relationship that you have with listeners, I think people really felt that we got the short end of the stick. And we did. So they were right. That's all good, though. And I remember getting inundated, dude. And this isn't like a flex here. I don't mean it like that at all. The amount of DMs that I got on Instagram from people, dude, I love what you do. You're going to crush YouTube. I want to work with you. I'll work for free. I'll do your thumbnails. I'll do really was overwhelming. And I didn't respond to many. I didn't. And then I'm like, I gotta figure out about Jared. That's it, because we had a relationship, not a very deep one, because you weren't my initial producer.
I mean, I probably did 4 or 5 episodes of Unkillable, really. Like, in all honesty, I probably didn't. And one of them, I freaking messed up.
Yes, you did.
That was hilarious, though. Oh my God.
Did I get mad at you? Not that mad, right?
Oh, dude, you were just like, the look on your face was just, I was literally shaking, going,
No, come on, man.
I'm telling you how I was in the moment. You were,
Yeah, no, I get that.
You were like, Jay, what's going on? It was, that was too funny.
What? Because I was trying to start the show. It was after a horrible loss.
Yes, exactly.
And I was all fired up and like, I don't think there was any music. Like, so
the intro just cut and it just went to the live in the top left corner. Which I think now, knowing what you know now about StreamYard, I think you would have caught it. I think going through what we've been through now, I think you would have caught it at the time.
That's true. You're right, man. You want to laugh? Talk about being caught off guard. So years, it's been a couple of years now, but I did a show on CBS Sports Network for, I think it was 7 years, called Tops, that other pregame show. Mm-hmm. And the name was interesting. We always use the acronym, but it was like, hey, all these other multi-gazillion-dollar deals. Hey, we're that other pregame show. Give us check us out, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a good show, man. Very produced, very well produced. We had a great relationship with the NFL Today. So Boomer would come in, do a segment. Yep. Bill Cowher, Phil Simms, and then Nate Burleson toward the end. Like, it was great synergy. I loved it, right? I really had a great time. And then after COVID, they kind of shook some things up, whatever. But I had 7 years on that show. And I was with Shine, who's really good. Amy Trask, who I love. And the other seat, like, rotated a bit. I wound up doing it with London Fletcher, who... Okay. Oh, what a dude, man. What an absolute dude. Love London Fletcher. We wound up doing like 4 or 5 years together. But before, I think, and then Chris Sims for a minute, who's equally awesome. I think Bart was the first 2 years, maybe. Bart was up there with us. Like, we'd start the show. The four of us at a big desk. Like, that was our show. And, Bart was like, amazing, but a little raw. And I remember him, and we got along great. He and I are just bullshitting during a break. And I think we just did a segment, and I had to go, and I think I was going to get ready for my individual segment. So he's sitting back. I can't lean back too far, otherwise you won't hear me. In his chair, more tops coming up. Adam, Sean, more tops next. However, Adam talks, right? So we all think we're off camera, and I'm just kind of walking away, and me and Bart are shooting the breeze on whatever we were talking about, something funny. And I guess they never shut the camera off. So Bart is leaning backwards. Thank God he didn't say anything. Like, because, we talk a lot of off-color jokes, F-bombs, saying whatever, talking shit about certain teams, whatever player we were just talking about. You always parse it a little bit on real TV. We could have gone 3 levels further, which we did do back then off camera. And I remember I'm like, I hear like frantic, "Oh, dude, shut the K's on." And I'm like, "Yo, dude, you're on." And he didn't know what to do. He kind of sat up like this. And somehow he faked it for like 6 seconds, and then they went to commercial break.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
See, that's one of the scariest feelings when you're on camera, and it very rarely happens, and you just don't know it. That's scary. The thing that's frustrating from a talent's perspective, I'll use that word talent very loosely, from like my perspective, is when you're ready to go and not that you're reading off a sheet, obviously, but like the first 15, 20 seconds. Yeah. All right, here's how we're going. And then there's a technical issue. And I get it. It happens. But like the producer, you're expecting music and there's no music. The button's jammed and the producer's like, go. And you're like, oh, all my mojo was zapped because I was going to play off those 12 seconds of the song. Now I just got to jump into it. Like, that's frustrating. But it's nobody's fault. Like, it just happens. And I think that's what happened that day with you and I.
Of course. Oh.
Right, let me get back to the phones. Huh?
Who do you want?
Oh, we got my man ST.
Yes, sir.
Let's get ST up in the crib. ST, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. Enjoying the soccer so far? I saw Mexico. They did okay. What were they playing? Guatemala? Did I get that right?
Nah, they played South Africa. It was a shit show,
to
be honest with you. There were 3 red cards, absolutely pandemonium. But look, we're going to stay up for the US A tonight, and we'll watch Canada first. So.
Oh, wait, we're playing Guatemala, no? USA?
Nah, you're playing Paraguay, yeah.
Jesus, Paraguay.
USA.
There you go.
Yeah,
Paraguay. Yeah, I got you. Let's go USA.
Should be good. Listen, it's a No Rules Friday.
Yeah.
So I don't ask for much, but I'm going to ask for a conversation with you
about
Well, you said a lot of things, and one thing I just wanted to just basically deep dive in slowly but surely and just ascertain what you meant by that.
Go
You were
ahead.
talking about, Wemby, when you asked J-Rod, like, yeah, it's better for Wemby, which, by the way, let me just mention, I don't disagree with anything you said in terms of like officiating and it's protect Wemby. I get that. Operation
Okay.
Protect Wemby. I feel that. Yeah.
I got
But
you.
what I wanted to understand is like you were saying, like, right, it's better for the NBA if the Spurs win. First off, I'm gonna say I don't agree with that because this finals is the best thing that could have happened for the NBA and the product, first off.
I agree.
However,
I agree with that.
however, I wanted to just give you a couple of stats. You do know, right, that in terms of like consumption of the NBA, like outside of the US, which is the number one market, China has been the biggest market and remains the biggest market. And in fact, if you deep dive into Europe, Germany will be the number one European country before France. Furthermore, Brazil is also beating those guys. So I'm not sitting here trying to call you out. I'm just trying to wonder what is the genesis of that thought process, because let's be honest, what's his name? Tony Parker is French. This guy won four NBA championships, as you well know, and did the dumbest thing ever by cheating on Eva Mendes, which is just ludicrous to me.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm a fan. Still looks good, but I'm still a fan.
I know, right? But like, people have gotten arrested for less. So I wanted to know that, and then because it's a No Rules Friday, after we have this conversation, I know you got other callers, so I don't want to dominate the time. I do want to but we did talk about food, and I heard you talking about the mozzarella, and I love how you say that. And it just struck me or not. You're like, you got some Italian background, right?
My mom's all Italian. My mom is all Italian.
So then I want to give you a recipe.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's flush through it, man. Stick with me. Stick with me.
Let's focus. I got you.
Okay, so you're not offended by what I said. You just think that I'm off the mark in terms of the level of importance or reach of the French player compared to Germany, China for sure. Like, that's the genesis of your question, right?
Absolutely, BT. I'm not offended at all. Don't be worried about that.
Like I just want to make sure we can.
We are not debating. We are talking.
Absolutely, man. No doubt, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't take it that way at all. I just want to make sure that I'm able to address what you brought up there. Okay, so to me, think about this, right? So let's say if it's Anthony Edwards. I mean, we could even say Jalen Brunson, right? I mean, he's playing now. To me, in terms of marketability, what I meant by that was, somebody, an American-born player. There's already a built-in connection. Maybe not as much as there used to be because you only see these guys for a year. In college, it's changed a lot, but there's a built-in, certainly, identification and familiarity and recognition, and there's a built-in the brand permeates America immediately because that player's from here, and there's a limited growth potential for that, just in terms of money, right? In terms of maximizing somebody's value on the open market. When you have a player from Brazil, but in this case, France, the parameters to stretch the monetization of the sport, it's not even in the same neighborhood as a Brunson or an American-born player because it just includes more people. So that's really all I'm saying. You don't disagree with that, do you?
I don't disagree would probably be the wrong word I use. I don't understand. So maybe you can dive a little deeper, because I would say, look at Yao Ming, right? Like, nobody was really favoring him the same way they are Wemby. Would you agree with that or disagree?
I would, but they also had different stars. You had a Shaq, you had a Kobe. The league was
true that.
It was not faceless back then. This is, to me, this is almost, that's a good question, by the way, and I'm with you. Although the sneaker revolution and all that certainly was impacted, as were the ratings and the advertising dollar, with the arrival of Yao Ming. But the difference is, I'm not going to say the NBA is faceless right now because I love Ant. The Knicks are really good, whatever. Tatum's a champion. Doncic is great when he's healthy and in shape. LeBron's still playing, all that stuff. But there is no, outside of Wemby, there is no lock successor to the throne. And back in the day, like when Jordan was done, they went through a fairly faceless identity. Now, I loved watching AI play. I loved watching Vince Carter play. I love watching T-Mac. I love what Penny Hardaway with Tara Banks and a little Penny commercial. Like, it wasn't completely
Chris Rock, man.
Oh, that was hysterical. I mean, that looked like some hell of a party, dude. You just see from the pool where Penny's chilling. I'm like, how do we get in that party? That party looks like it's a good party to be at, and especially when I was that age. But no, it lost a little bit of the luster because while I know AI didn't fit the profile that the league wanted it to fit back then for sure, and you know what I mean by that. You know,
I do.
You know what I mean. I think that they are very protective of the imaging and the branding, and I just think it's an early, not an inaccurate down the road read on what Wemby is, because he's going to be one of those transcendent players. All I'm saying is Michael Jordan got his face kicked in physically, and they just said, tough, that's the NBA. Wemby, he does, not only do they protect him, but they ignore stuff that he does.
Yes, that you get no argument or pushback.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I know what you mean, BT. But the whole thing is like, look, like Europe, they love basketball. They can't.
Oh, I know.
So look at this. So you know about Dirk Nowitzki, right? You know about Jokic. Who's like one, like, you know, he and you know the crowning of Luka Doncic. So you know, I mean, when we say that Wemby's going to be the face of the NBA, nobody's denying that. But like, there's guys before him that are really the not crowning and pampering champions, or, you know, having their way being paved with roses being thrown at their feet. But I don't know if the NBA is really going down that route, because there's so many other players that are like up and coming and are coming through. Like, Wemby's a freak, right?
Yeah,
that's why. But like, nobody did that for Giannis. Let's be honest, right?
No, they didn't.
Giannis had to bust his ass, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
They also weren't as good. They weren't championship relevant, ST, back, and he was 35, 40. And now Wemby's going to put weight on as well. But it's serendipitous. He's an international, incredible player. He's huge. So just the spectacle of his size is different, even in the NBA, from what we usually see. And by the way, his team is trying to win a championship, not like 32 wins or 35 wins and trying to be the 8th seed, you know, like some of those early Giannis teams. You know? So it's a little different. I got to let you go, but I want to hear the Italian recipe. Go ahead. Hit me with it.
Right. Here we go. So the question is, have you ever had bucatini alle matriciana?
No, I have not.
Right. So it's a Roman dish, right? So if you've been to Italia, you would know that like Rome is landlocked. Even though they do a lot of fish, the main thing traditionally in that state of Italia, because if you didn't know, and to your listeners as well, USA is actually an older country than Italia, because Italia was just a bunch of states and kingdoms and all that. Anyway, it's a Roman dish. It's made with guanciale. Guanciale is the cheek of the pig. It's a beautiful piece of meat.
Wow.
You use bucatini, which is a beautiful pasta, and it soaks up everything. And you make your it's not ragu, because ragu is with beef, but you make your sugo, which is the tomato sauce, right?
Okay.
So you use fresh, like, vine tomatoes. I want you to do that.
Jesus.
You have that. You press down with a wooden spoon, like, keep doing that. And then you obviously hit it with the molten sea salt and all that.
Yep.
But you don't need any oil whatsoever. Why? Because the guanciale, the guanciale, it will render in its own fat, and it's absolutely beautiful. You do that. You boil your bucatini for about 11 minutes, maybe 10 minutes for al dente.
Yep.
You throw that in, have some white wine, like, dust it off, and then boom, you mix that up, let it sit there. Lots of chili. So fresh chili, so cut up some red chili from your Associated or King Cullen, wherever you're at, and then throw it in there and just let that sugo cook for about at least 30 minutes, slow and low, as you well know. And you let me know how that goes. And, you know, if I had an email to give you, I'd send you this verbatim, so you don't have to remember this. But yeah.
J-Rod, do me a favor. Put
I'm writing it down. That sounded so good, bro.
Get some sort of an exchange. Jay, give me an email. I got to get to, because there's a lot there. You know, I'm still hanging on the cheek of the pig. So That is, listen, ST, a phenomenal call, dude. We're going to get the recipe. You're going to get it right now with Jay.
Check
You
the
guys will
private
exchange.
chat, and then you can send it to my
Unbelievable.
email.
This guy, what an eclectic. First of all, just sounds, just the dialect, like intelligent, right? I mean, I know my food pretty well. I mean, I feel like a first grader hearing that stuff. I feel like a complete idiot. I mean, the eclectic nature and the culture that ST brings to the show is something J-Rod's certainly not bringing to the show.
Absolutely not. It's much needed.
I'm not
it's
bringing
much.
to the
We need it, bro.
That
So
is
I appreciate it, ST, and I think I'm gonna chef that up. Listen, if there's one thing about me, I'm not a huge chef.
Yeah.
But when I do cook up, I cook something extravagant. So, and this doesn't even sound incredibly extravagant or difficult.
No.
It sounds like it's easy and great. So I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna report back.
That's incredible, man. That is really, really good stuff. All right, let me squeeze a couple of other things in here. All right. Now, so Aroldis Chapman, I don't think this is going to happen, just to be clear. I'm not trying to fool anybody here, but the Red Sox stink. That's going to remain the same. Yankees bullpen is not very trustworthy at this point. They're going to have to change that. He's got Yankee pedigree. There was an issue when he bounced a couple of years ago, and he was asked about what it would take for him to go back to the Yankees. And by the way, I mean, I know most of you still know this, but Aroldis Chapman is still absolutely filthy. He's got a .46 ERA. He throws 99 miles per hour on the average, 1 percentile in baseball. He's got 13 saves for a bad team. So why I don't think this is going to happen, number one, is that it ended on very bad terms. And his premise yesterday was, I might be amenable to it if I get an apology from Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman is not apologizing to anybody. I mean, if anybody deserves an apology coming their way, it's us from Brian Cashman based on all the problems we've had with some of his roster construction. You know what I mean? And he hasn't done that. I mean, he's still, being a little hard-headed on Volpe. We understand how it goes. All right, so that's not coming, number one. Number two, are the Red Sox going to really help out the Yankees? I mean, if it's good for them, sure. I mean, I would not let a good trade get in the way of, a frosty relationship, a rivalry. I'm going to do what's best for my team, and then you go and worry about your house. That's always been my trade philosophy, whether it's Yankees, Mets, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Isles, Niners, Raiders, any other, multi-city team. I just believe in that. Rams, Chargers, I don't know if the Yankees will do that, and I don't know if the Red Sox would do that, but, he's not coming. But I did see that, and I'm like, it's worth a couple of minutes. Now, the way it ended, you got to remember, back in 2022, he lost his closer's role. I'm sure Yankee fans will remember that. And then he blew off, and you'll definitely remember this, because Boone, who usually protects players, as we know, he blew off a mandatory workout before the ALDS, and he got fined by the Yankees. And Cashman, before that, because there was a lot of issues going on, when he lost the closer's role, as I said, Boone said he didn't think he was all in. All right, and when you say that, I mean, that's about as big. And I agreed with him, by the way, just by his actions and what he was saying at that point. I'm going back to 2022. But the Yankees are very protective publicly, what they say about players. So that was, Cashman questioned if he was all in, not Boone. And that's what he apparently wants an apology for. I mean, listen, if the Red Sox would have sent him to the Yankees and they can flush this out like big boys, I mean, Aroldis Chapman is not going to come here in the middle of a pennant race and not being interested in performing. So even if it's a very lukewarm, understanding, hey, I said some things, you did some things, we're good, you want to come, all right, let's go. And it's a little ice to it, or a little tension, or a little frostiness, which I'm fine with. I don't think that would get in the way of Chapman being a massive upgrade for the Yankees. So I don't think it's going to happen, but I did see that. I'm sure some of you saw that as well. And I wanted to at least touch that very quickly. And listen, anytime you talk about this, for the Yankees, unlike the Dodgers or even the Mets or the Yankees, you always have to at least factor in the money. And the money's this. So he's got $13 million, a mutual option for 2027. Now, the buyout's cheap. It's only $300,000, which is nothing, obviously. So, but how would the 2027, how would it trigger? How would that contract trigger? Well, if he pitches at least 40 innings, and I think he's at I got to double check it now, actually. It might not be 20. Maybe it is 26. I thought it was 26, but he's going to get to that threshold. And then the second part of that would be he would have to pass a physical at the end of the season, whether it's the postseason. I would imagine it's whenever the Yankees finish up their run. And if it's a favorable doctor's visit, then 2027 becomes $13 million. And that's something I don't think the Yankees would want to jump on there. I don't think. I mean, you never know. I mean, he still is really, really good. You could always, if you don't want to give up a great prospect for rental, which the Yankees wouldn't, and maybe there's a way to sweeten the pot. I don't know. Red Sox eat a couple of $1 million. There's obviously a way to get the deal done, but I would not bank on this. All right. I just wouldn't myself. The other thing, this is interesting. So Yankees have to make a decision here on Jason Dominguez. He's had 4 rehab games under his belt. He's going to be activated off the IL soon. I mean, you might get a couple of more games. I don't know if anything broke during the show. So, Jay, can you please check to make sure that I'm not missing anything?
Yep.
Because there's a few things to factor in what I think will happen, what I think should happen, and then also what could happen. All the options here. Played a couple of games, hit a home run right-handed. When he was up for a little run this year, he was actually better from the right side than the left, which is actually the exact opposite. If you're a Yankee fan, small samples, but interesting possible shift in, what he could be as a major league player. Maybe. I still don't know if he can catch the ball, so I'm not going to go nuts, but he's becoming a little bit more proficient from the right side, which he had to. It was just too much of a massive drop. He was a liability. Now, eventually he's coming back because Judge is nowhere to be found. Aaron's going to be out a long time, which is another issue, but he's not coming back anytime soon, that's for sure. So Yanks will have to make a decision on Dominguez, and he's going to be on the team. Like Jason Dominguez will be back in the majors. So and he should be, who will be gone? Will it be Spencer Jones? Will it be Max Schumann? Will it be Anthony Volpe? Those are really your only 3 options. Now, I'm going to run through each thing real quick here. Spencer Jones looks much more polished. Granted, very small sample. Hit his first home run, 440 feet, dead straightaway center. You get to see that easy, free-flowing power. It's kind of intrigued to see if we can get a little bit more out of the young guy. So I'm not looking to get rid of him. He's a good defender. He can run. But the problem with that, and I think of the 12 starts he's had so far, only 1 has come against a left-handed pitcher, pardon me. So he's obviously at this point, righty pitcher, boom, he's a lefty option stick. That's when he plays. Now, you look at the DH spot, obviously Goldschmidt against lefties doing a really good job. He's doing a great job. I mean, he's picking the ball at first. If Garrett Cole would cover first base, you'd have some highlight reels over there. And we know he's hitting. Like Goldschmidt has played very well. Pleasantless. I mean, I knew he was going to be a pro, but even more than what I thought when they brought him back, for peanuts, a couple of $1 million, right? So Jones, to me, it's Max Schumann and it's Volpe. Now, Volpe, here's where it gets dicey. All right. So we've seen Caballero get a lot of run in the outfield, which I don't love, but okay, I like his versatility. Now, Caballero in the right field crashed into Grisham the other night. Not ideal. Volpe came back, and Volpe was, in essence, handed the starting shortstop job, and he's been awful, all right? Now, I believe that the Yankees will be at their absolute apex when Caballero goes back to that super sub role, and the Yankees actually get a real everyday shortstop. Whether it's Lombard getting called up in a month and a half, whatever it might be, whether it's a trade. Like, we're not talking, just win 94 games. We're talking about a World Series. I mean, with Judge's age and his health and Garrett Cole, his age and his health, like, you got to go for it. I mean, I think we all know that by now, right? So, to me, you're not going, you're not going to keep, you can't keep. And then I'll get to Schumann in a moment, who's probably the guy who's going to be shipped out just based on the financial commitment, all that stuff. But to me, how do you have Dominguez back and Dominguez, at least while Judge is healing, playing the outfield? He might play some right field. They think that I know he played right the other night, made a nice play. I got to see it before I believe it, but he's going to be in the outfield, you would think. And obviously you got your center fielder, you have your left fielder, or maybe Belly and right and Dominguez in left, which is an adventure, but whatever. They're thinking that, sure. But how can you have Dominguez and Caballero and Volpe and Goldschmidt playing every day? Or at least a lot of the time, not every day, obviously. I don't think that you can. especially when you look at if and there's a lot here, so I'm trying to just dumb it down. Not that you guys can't understand it, but I don't want to get redundant here. The problem is because Spencer Jones only plays against righties, which I get, one of his 12 starts against right-handed pitchers. Well, then obviously Rice is going to play first base and Goldschmidt will play there against lefties and Rice could DH a little bit. But if you're not going to run Dominguez out there with frequency against lefty pitchers yet, which I get, you got to prove more as a right-handed hitter, the real wheelhouse to play him is against right-handed pitchers so he can hit lefty, which historically he's been better at, although it's changing. And if that's the case, then Spencer Jones doesn't play at all. So, the other thing too with Schumann, just to give him a little bit of love, he's been a solid player. I like him. I respect what he brings to the table. Versatility, good athlete, etc. But you're not going to have two super subs on the team in Caballero and Schumann. Now, if you send down Volpe, which that's probably the right move at this point, based on earning it, if you send down Volpe, then for now, Caballero, as Lombard continues to hit in the minors, is the everyday shortstop. And Schumann could be the night-to-night bounce around kind of a guy. If you don't send down Volpe, which I don't think that they will, and you send down Jones, then you've got some redundancy with two super subs in Caballero and obviously Schumann. So I'm not saying it's going to change the entire dynamics of their season, but it's not a little move on the margins here. Like, this is a very interesting decision by the Yankees. Volpe hasn't earned it. He still plays. Caballero's best playing, I think, 2 or 3 times a week. And you got to thread that needle of, all right, maybe too much Caballero's a little overexposure. Lombard's not ready yet. Dominguez is ready physically soon. Jones is, all right, playing better the second time, so you don't want to just punish him by sending him down when he's finally showing some aptitude at the major league level. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't pretend to know. Here's what I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you what I think they're going to do. And I'm going to tell you what I would do. And it's not easy, man. What they're going to do, they are going to call up Dominguez, obviously. And I think they're going to send down Jones. That's what I think they're going to do. Or Schumann, but I think Jones. What I would do is I would call up Dominguez and I would send down Volpe. That's what I would do. I don't think they'll do that. We'll get the answer soon. Might get it this weekend. They've got to make a decision on that fairly soon with Dominguez. All right, Jay, what did I miss? What's going on? What do we got?
Very interesting. Very interesting. So
yeah,
you think Dominguez is getting the call? I mean, there's no question about that. He's got to be back.
Oh, he's definitely going to be, but there's no doubt he's going to be 100%. He's getting called up. Here's the thing, too. Unless they just want 2 or 3 more rehab games, and I got to put him in the minors. See, one thing about this Nick run, and it's been awesome, but we haven't had a chance to talk as much baseball. I miss it.
No.
Now, I don't have time now. I was going to even get into a little Soto, that big home run yesterday. Nick, the Mets avoid the sweep. But, I wonder if this is the start of a little Soto heater because he was in a 3 for 30 funk.
Yeah, I saw that. He was looking like Volpe, bro. I mean, literally same exact BA.
Yeah, that's true. 30. But the on base is higher, so let's not disrespect. I mean, come on, it's Soto. I know what you mean, though. So, Lindor's starting to run a little bit. I like Ben.
Wait, hold on.
I like Ewing.
Lindor's back?
No, he's starting to progress.
Okay, progress. Okay. I was like,
I said he's starting to run a little bit, progress. Baseball activity starting to ramp up. Again, I'm not going to try to create something I just don't believe in. I don't believe the Mets are going anywhere this year. They just don't have it. Peterson stinks. Manaea's a mess. Forget about Kodai Senga. I mean, Peralta's not an ace. I mean, do I really need to run down the litany of issues with the Mets? I mean, Polanco always on the way back. Up, the heel still hurts. The Achilles up. Shut him down. Up. Now he's back. He's going to do some. Come on, man. Like, it's just not shaping up to be their year. But with the extra wild cards, and the Mets have shown us this as recently as a couple of years ago, It's not how you start. It is how you finish. But they're, another week or so or two away from just shipping people out. If they lose 5 of the next 7, I mean, I know, and even the craziest, I just want to look at the wild card standings real fast. Even like the most devout, craziest, sycophants, believers, whatever, however you want to frame it. I mean, you've got to understand the reality of that. Before you know it's going to be July. And let's see. Oh, I know what I'll do before I get out of here. I'm going to do the playoff percentage and the win probability and all that stuff that I do once in a while. So the Mets right now, I mean, negative 18 run differential. My God, 15 games behind the Braves. What? All right, let me at least check the wild card. Let me go to standings, MLB. Where's the wild card? All right. So, thank God for the Rockies and the Giants. But here's the thing. They are only 5.5 out of the wild card. I mean, it's crazy. The problem is you got to jump over the Padres, the Nationals, the Pirates, the Cubs, the Diamondbacks, the Marlins, the Reds, and then there's the Mets. So, even if the 5 games is not insurmountable, if you got 2 or 3 teams in front of you, not only do you have to get your act together, good luck, but simultaneously, you need 4 or 5 teams to bleed out. And of those teams, a few will. So it's not impossible, but I mean, it's just, All right, let me give you the win total here. Let's see. Jay, do you get allergies? I very rarely get them.
As I've gotten older, mine have gotten a lot better. When I was a kid, they were super bad, but it really depends on the day. When I'm in New York City, though, no, my allergies are fine. When I'm back in Connecticut around the trees and stuff like that, they're much worse.
Got it.
So out here, I'm usually chilling.
My biggest allergy is cats.
Same. Yo, lock in.
I can't stand. No disrespect to cat lovers. I don't mean this from a non-sensitive. I love animals. I do, but I just can't be around cats. And I'd absolutely prefer dogs over cats. Anyway, that's just me, 100%. But even dogs, I mean, I same thing. It's crazy.
Same,
the cats immediate, bro. I mean, oof.
I can't go in your house if you have a cat. Usually I'm just I'm not going to go over.
Dude, the worst was, I'm the same way. So we were in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago. One of my wife's best friends, awesome woman. Great. She's the best. And she moved for business purposes, does very well. Moved to Puerto Rico, very closed community, very affluent, just gorgeous, right? I think it's Dorado Beach. Does that sound right? I think was it Dorado? Either way, now so we're sleeping there, and we're at the pool, riding around on the golf cart, having a drink at night, showing the kids the island and everything, and then it's like, all right, it's time to go to bed, and I'm getting blasted with cats. She has 2 of them. You want to talk about the most helpless feeling? It's not like I'm in the States and I could go to the drugstore and get something, or if I had to get a hotel room, I'm stuck. It was the worst, bro. The worst. Oh, and otherwise, such an amazing time. All right. Yankees projected win total, 94.3. They are at a 69.4% divisional probability to win it, and they're at a 99.2% probability to be a playoff team. Healthy numbers. There you go. And honestly, doing a decent job of navigating the absence of Judge. They have been so far. Grisham's on a heater. We love Belly as a ball player. Pitching solid. The Mets right now are projected to win 74.5 games. They've got a 0.0 divisional probability. And they've got a 3.7% chance to even just make the playoffs. What are the Rockies wins? It's got to be in the 60s, dude. It's got to be 58. Oh my! And the Rockies beat the Mets. 58.4. That's by far the lowest. Cincinnati, they've had a weird year. They're at 76.5. The Mets are at 74.5. Tigers have to be pretty low at this point. Angels 66.9. Kansas City, disappointing. 74.7. And what are those stinky Red Sox? Sorry, Boston. 74.5. All right, Jay, I'm going to go, man. 2 hours. Good stuff. Really good show.
Good show.
Miss anything? Do I need to know anything before we start hitting the road? Because I got to run.
I'm not seeing anything incredibly crazy. But have a great night tomorrow night at Borelli's. Enjoy the game. Good luck,
baby.
Let's
go. My boy Clyde on the sign right there. Come on, Clyde Ski. Come on. Was Eddie Curry at the? I thought I saw Eddie Curry at the last.
I didn't see him. I didn't see. I'll need to see that. Oh
what?
Boy, that's some rough luck. Oh,
I mean, what are we
we've
doing?
got one more super chat.
Oh,
you kind of got to it. What's your dream semi-realistic trade for the Yanks?
Trout and the Angels eat, a good chunk of the money, and the Yankees fleece them on prospects. And you thrust them, understanding that a couple of years to go on that contract, provided it's offset a little bit by the Angels, it's going to be a problem down the road. But then Stanton's contract will be up, as will a few others. McMahon, $16 million deal this year is up. What else do we have here? They're going to let Jazz walk, so he won't be around. Grisham's $22 million qualifying offer. They will be able to absorb it. And I believe you put somebody like Mike Trout in a pennant race, kid. You put him in the Bronx, you're going to see what you saw last time you saw him in the Bronx earlier this season. So, Knicks fans, go get it. Appreciate the super chat, by the way. Thank you very much. Everybody have an outstanding weekend. Enjoy your Friday night. Don't get too tuned up tonight. You gotta be ready to go tomorrow, which I know that you will. And I'll see you guys at Borelli's on Saturday. Have an awesome weekend. Enjoy the activities with the kids, baseball, softball, beach, barbecue, whatever it might be, lacrosse tournaments. And J-Rod, you be safe. You get loose. I know you will.
Yes, sir.
And I will see all of you on Monday at 10, possibly earlier if the Knicks wrap it up. I can't. I might have to go live on Saturday night from Borelli's on the phone.
We might have to, bro.
I mean, not ideal. Got to be careful, but we're going to have to figure something out. All right. So go Knicks. Have an awesome week, and I'll catch you guys Monday at 10. Bye.
This is On Leash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is On Leash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is On Leash. Are you listening? Can you hear me? This is On Leash. Are you listening? Can you hear me?
With your